you've got to have those characters, otherwise we just don't care. And so it was incredibly important that we had this relationship, and working with David was an absolute joy. If our relationship didn't work, then a large portion of the film wouldn't have worked.
How are you both doing today?
Pretty good, Grant. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking with you both as well. Big fans of both of your work, and especially the Last Voyage of the Demeter. It is an absolute blast from start to finish. Liam, I'll start with you, and then David. You are both no strangers to the horror genre, but what about the Demeter really sparked both of your interests to really dive back into that field?
Well, when you've got like myself and David, when you've got a couple of horror things under your belt, you tend not to want to go back to it unless it's something extraordinary. And this script was extraordinary. And the fact that they were going back to the original book, which, translated in 1922 with Nosferatu. So 100 years later, we're going back to to this book, and this original monster was a great attraction for me. And then the caliber of people I was going to be working with, and Amblin, producing the movie, Universal, the home of monsters, distributing the movie. You'd want to be a sick puppy to say no.
I'll say that when you've been addicted to, possessed by the power of cinema since childhood, like myself, thanks to the wonders of the late night creature feature and watching horror films and understanding the power and the potential of what these kinds of stories can have on audiences, there was this lifelong, for me, dream of getting to be a part of a cinematic adaptation of the Demeter, the story of the captain's log from Bram Stoker's Dracula. So it was kind of like surreal and a bit of fate when I found out that this movie was actually being made. And then because I kept hounding the people making it, I was given the chance to audition for it. And then I was given the chance to actually be in it. Holy crap, man. It's like... It's crazy. It blows my monster kid brain every day that I get to be in a Dracula film for Universal Pictures, and I can't wait for people to see it.
I can't wait for people to see it as well, and I love the passion that you two have for getting to be a part of this. But I also love the dynamic that you two have throughout this film. There's this real father-son, or even just really close friends dynamic. What was it like building that rapport with one another prior to filming as well as during?
It was everything to my performance, because all of my character's life and his entire professional life, but personal life, is hinged upon this man, Captain Elliot, this learned, smart man of the sea who I've looked to for all the answers in my life. And as the story begins, the captain is giving me his blessing. He is my hero. And as the horror unfolds before us, and as I see my hero start to lose hold of our ship and start to lose hold of the answers, and I start to see through, the truth of what is true for all of us. None of us is without fear. And as I see my own hero's fear start to take hold of him, what it does to my heart as a character was so important in motivating my battle and the war that I wanted to wage against Dracula himself.
Yeah, definitely. The relationship between Wojciech and Elliot is part of the backbone of this story. You've got to have empathy with these people that you're seeing on screen. Otherwise, they're just victims. You're waiting for them to pop off or be killed or whatever. As an audience, you've got to not want to see these people harmed. They're good people. They're decent people. They're hardworking people. They're not military men. They're not heroes. And this monster shows up on this ship in this claustrophobic setting. You've got to have those characters, otherwise we just don't care. And so it was incredibly important that we had this relationship, and working with David was an absolute joy. If our relationship didn't work, then a large portion of the film wouldn't have worked.
I'm glad that you two took that time and effort then to make it work, because I cared for your characters as well as everybody else's, and was I'm not spoiling anything, heartbroken to see a few of them go. But I really look forward to spreading the word about this one. So thank you both so much for taking the time to chat. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir.